Welcome back to the Econ Bite. I'm Darshni Ashokan. Let's uncover the hidden logic behind the choices we make and the world we live in. Let me ask you something. If a crime rate in a country started falling, what do you think caused it? Better policing? Better economy? Or is it stricter gun laws? That's exactly what people believed happened in the US back in the 1990s. For years, experts had predicted that the crime rate would continue to rise. Even politicians warned of a generation of violent young criminals. But something unexpected happened. Crime rate didn't rise. In fact, it dropped dramatically. As expected, the explanations followed. People credited improved policing, better economy, and other new laws. They all sounded reasonable, but Freakonomics asked a completely different question. What if the biggest cause had happened 20 years earlier? The authors point to the 1970 Supreme Court decision Roe v. Wade, which legalized abortion across the United States. Their primary argument was many women who sought abortion after that decision were living in an extremely difficult situation. They had to deal with poverty, unstable homes, addiction, or even worse situations. Decades of research had shown that children born into those environments were, on average, at a higher risk of becoming involved in crime later in life. Because many of those pregnancies were not carried to term, there were very fewer children growing up in the higher risk circumstances. About 20 years later, when that generation would have reached the age at which the crime is statistically most common, the number of potential offenders was smaller. According to Freakonomics, this was one of the major reasons crime fell so quickly. Whether you agree with the conclusion or not, that's not what fascinated me the most. What fascinated me was a question. Everyone was looking at what had changed in the past 5 years. But the authors looked 20 years into the past. That completely changed the way I think. Sometimes the biggest causes aren't the most visible ones. Sometimes the answer we accept are simply the easiest ones. And sometimes changing one question is enough to change the entire story. The world is full of answers. Let's keep asking better questions. This is Econ Bite. I'll see you in the next bite.